It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host for today, Tyler Keefe. Thank you so much for joining me as we kick off another great week here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Our top story today, new leaders are emerging in the Greater West Bloomfield community, and they don't even have their driver's licenses yet. Yes, that's right. The kids are taking a front row seat in local government as part of a brand new Junior Leadership Commission welcoming students to observe West Bloomfield parks, the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, and the township's boards and commissions as they do work that makes our community run behind the scenes. I had a chance to talk to one of the inaugural commissioners, Chelsea Coker, about what drove her to this new volunteer opportunity.
I think the main thing that helped me feel motivated to join was the fact that I really love supporting my community, and I've had a lot of great role models, seeing that my mom is a principal and I have a lot of different opportunities. It makes it really easy to expand my world, and it really makes me just happy to do it.
You're going to have a lot of opportunities here to kind of see the inside of how our local government works. How do you think that's going to take your learning in the classroom about civics and about the way that government works to a different level?
I think it's really going to give me a more humanized understanding of our community and the world that we live in, because it's not just seeing it from an outside view. Now it's an internal aspect as well.
What are you hoping that you learn along the way that may help you in your outside life, out of the way of learning about government or in the classroom?
I'm really hoping to learn different things that'll help me lead in my future with my career, and then also to help inform others. But I really want to know more about how I'm affecting my community and how I can make a difference.
You've taken the leap, Chelsea, by being part of this first ever Junior Leadership Commission in our community. What message do you have for other students, your own peers and those younger than you, that may be looking toward opportunities like this now or in the future themselves?
I would say just be yourself and be confident, because that's all you need. If you're motivated and driven, that's what's going to build you up for the future.
These kids certainly are driven to learn more about what goes on in our local government. It's not the typical group of kids that you think of at the middle school age that just take their government class, they go through the motions, they get the grade, and then they move on, and it's out of sight and out of mind. These kids are legitimately interested in what's going on at the very local level. They appreciate these different organizations and have a thirst to learn more. West Bloomfield Middle School student Camilla Zinkovska also told me about the motivation behind her leadership in this capacity and what she hopes to learn from our elected and appointed officials.
I'm really interested in helping our community and taking participation to hopefully inspire future leaders.
And so as you look toward the leaders that we have in our community and beyond right now, what do you admire about them and hope to yourself bring and maybe even learn a little bit more about becoming as you join this commission?
I really admire the fact that they are such a big part of this community, and they are all about helping everybody, educating others, and all that stuff.
And so as you observe the work that they're doing, what do you hope that you learn along the way as you see the Parks Commission, the Library Board, the Township Board, maybe even our friends at the Cable Commission do their week-to-week work?
I'm really hoping to learn the way that they educate, the way that they help, so I can go on and do it too.
Why was this the effort that you decided to take? There's so many different ways to volunteer, to get involved in the community. What about this felt special to you?
It really felt special. Some of my friends are doing this, and I'm just really excited about all of this, learning new things, trying new things. Yeah, very much so, yes.
So anything else that you'd like the community to know about how kids can get involved through the Junior Leadership Commission, or anything else you'd like to say as you get ready to take your official oath?
I'm very excited to do this. I'm excited to learn new things, try new things, all that stuff.
A handful of kids on site there at the Recreation Activity Center to be sworn in over the weekend as the first members of the West Bloomfield Junior Leadership Commission. Well over 10 members in total. They're going to be at all these different board and commission meetings, asking questions, learning more about what's coming down the pike at the library, at West Bloomfield Parks, and of course at West Bloomfield Township. Really busy time and a big time of change here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. You think of renovations underway at the Recreation Activity Center, that brand new facility they're going to have there when all those renovations are done over the next couple of years. All the big changes that have happened recently at the library and their look to emerging technologies in the future, and then the master plan process at West Bloomfield Township as well. These kids are going to have a great opportunity to learn in the coming months as they embark on this first ever Junior Leadership Commission in our community. The junior leaders are already making an impression at the highest offices in Greater West Bloomfield as well. West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Jonathan Warshay shared his pride in Greater West Bloomfield's kids taking a driving role in addressing issues that affect their hometown and will impact their generation for years to come.
I think it's really exciting to see that the kids are interested in their community. I think environmental concerns, generally, kids are very interested in, and this is a great way to get them involved.
And they're going to be able to see a lot behind the scenes, too, which I think is a great way to highlight the dedicated work that so many people are doing behind the scenes. I'd imagine that's really important for these kids to see as they're growing up.
It's certainly important for them to know how things happen, how decisions are made, what goes involved in all that. And I think after their experience, they'll be ready to take over.
So how do leaders like you then engage further or plan to engage further to make that experience as robust as it can be for these kids and really give them the best educational experience they can have to learn what happens behind the scenes in West Bloomfield?
Well, I think we have to show them why we're doing what we're doing, all the things that are involved that come together, and whatever the issue is, so that they can understand better everything that goes into why we do what we do.
And as for this idea coming to bat, it came from different commissioners in our community. It's something that's had the support of the library, of parks, and the township itself. How great of an example is this of all of our different units of government coming together to support something that everybody agrees on, helping our kids?
I think it's very important for the township, the library, and Parks and Recreation to work together, and we do that. We have excellent partners, and we really value that relationship.
It's a really cool day at the Recreation Activity Center, swearing in these kids for the inaugural Junior Leadership Commission. You'll be able to see the full swearing-in ceremony of the Junior Leadership Commission very soon, right here on Civic Center TV and across our social media. Scan that QR code to keep updated on this and other big productions we've got coming up this week and next week as well. And as always, you can tune in on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM. In the meantime, you can learn more about the Junior Leadership Commission on wbparks.org/commission. Just scroll down. There will be a section on the Junior Leadership Commission. It'll give you information so you can tell your kids for years to come how they can get involved after this inaugural commission gets done with all of its work, learning about the inside workings of the Greater West Bloomfield's community government. Enjoying the West Bloomfield Trail is indeed a marathon, not a sprint. Recently, the Detroit Free Press the Detroit Free Press Marathon's Road to Detroit training group took over the West Bloomfield Trail. Our very own reporter Kevin McIntosh attended the event to speak with some of the local runners. Here's the story.
The Road to Detroit Free Press Marathon made a stop right here in West Bloomfield. We're out at the early morning training run to see why this event is so important and what's inspiring runners to lace up and keep going.
I'm all about health and wealth and, to keep myself from continuously being obese back and forth. So anytime a run is scheduled or there's an opportunity to do some physical activity, I'm all for it.
I've only done one marathon so far. That was December 2023 in Hawaii. So my friends are always pushing me to go to the next level. So this year I decided to go to the next level. So I came out here. I need to get some trail running in and just miles in general.
It's Saturday and I had to do 10 miles. Yeah, it's a normal Saturday run for me, 10 miles.
Achieving personal goals, training for the Detroit Free Press Marathon, or running your regular routes bring these local residents together. But ambassador for the Road to Detroit training group, Courtney Chase, tells us the goal for the event, while others tell us why they enjoyed the group run.
The goal is to get the community involved in their marathon training with other runners so that we can create an environment where everyone feels welcome to come to.
Running in a group keeps you motivated. It's fun, it's entertaining. You can go different paces. There's fast runners, slow runners, so you never feel like you're getting left behind. And then they always just push you to do whatever miles you set out to do.
So when you run with a group, sometimes you run with people faster and sometimes you run with people slower. So it gives you the opportunity to push yourself or pull yourself back if you're always doing too much. So it gives you, that type of feeling when you're running with a group versus when you're running solo.
Beyond achieving personal goals, local runner DeLorean Cotton tells us why events like this is important for runners of the Greater West Bloomfield community.
I think it means a lot. I think it means that people of all, areas or all avenues are able to come together and fellowship for one cause. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's a wonderful thing for the community as well.
Oh, it's just a chance for us to get together. Like I said, it's a community thing. We get together, we hang out, we go for a run, we have a good time.
It grows around the community. There are people that you'll meet here that end up becoming your friends for the rest of your life. So it's really just about building the community, even just aside from running.
With every step, runners are getting closer to their marathon and personal goals, and West Bloomfield is proud to be part of that journey. From the West Bloomfield Trail, I'm Kevin McIntosh, Civic Center TV.
It's a great story from Kevin. The only thing I can think about is to get all those shots of the runners up and down the West Bloomfield Trail. And they're training for a marathon. How much did Kevin have to run down the trail to get that story? His hard work can be found on civiccentertv.com. While you're watching us on our social media, give us a comment. Thank Kevin for that great report on the Detroit Free Press Marathon with their running group coming right here to West Bloomfield Township. More of that coming up in the coming months before we get to the Detroit Free Press Marathon this fall. In case you missed it, the next landmark gathering place is gearing up to open right here in West Bloomfield Township. Recently, the brand new Chaldean Community Center was packed with some of the biggest names in Greater West Bloomfield for an exclusive ribbon cutting of the 42,000 square foot facility that's set to open to the public very soon. But there was an extra special surprise in order. Governor Gretchen Whitmer made her way close to home from the state capitol to commemorate the milestone day in our community. Civic Center TV captured the moment as Governor Whitmer said a few words about the brand new Chaldean Community Center.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with the community, with all of you, with legislators from both sides of the aisle and both chambers. I get to take credit for the state of Michigan when things go well, but it's certainly not one person, it's all of us working together, and so I'm really thrilled to be here. And we should all remember that when things don't go well, it's not just one person, but anyway. To the entire Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce, congratulations on this stunning new home here in West Bloomfield. This new community center is going to be a lot more than just a building. It's a hub for innovation, for education, community engagement. And it's a reminder that when we invest in community, we invest in the future of Michigan. With today's ribbon cutting, we're recognizing the power of the Chaldean community, a strong, resilient community that knows how to get things done. Metro Detroit is home to nearly 190,000 Chaldeans, and their impact on this region and our state cannot be outstated. Contributing nearly $18 billion every year to Michigan's economy, it's an incredible number, and it's one that reflects generations of hard work, determination, and bold vision. We know that 6 in 10 Chaldean households owns at least one business. 4 in 10 own 2 or more. You're job creators, neighborhood stabilizers. You take risk, invest locally, and make things happen. But you also always find ways to give back. Through the Chaldean Community Foundation, you serve tens of thousands of families, providing critical services like immigration and naturalization support, every childhood education through Little Scholars Program, and access to healthcare and transportation. You're making a huge difference in English language learners, and I am proud that we have significantly increased funding for them in every education budget since I took office. We will keep working with you and our partners across the state and our partners in the Michigan legislature to support your work in this space. I'm grateful for everything that you have done and will continue to do to support countless families take their first steps toward building good lives, living the American dream, but doing it right here in Michigan. And now you've created a space where everyone can join together to learn and to grow even more. This new facility is a powerful reflection of what the Chaldean community brings to our state. A deep history, a vibrant culture, and a commitment to helping others thrive. Inside these walls, you'll find the only Chaldean museum in the world. You'll find a library with manuscripts dating back to 500 AD, preserving a heritage that stretches across centuries. There's a theater, a gym, a place where you can learn to cook in the community kitchen. All these spaces are designed to bring people together, to learn and to grow. There will be classes that teach not just Chaldean language and cuisine, but the heart of Chaldean culture. And the space provides real tools to building a better life. Workforce training, financial literacy programs, health services, cultural education, and a true one-stop hub for opportunity and well-being. And perhaps most importantly, this facility will serve everyone, whether you are Chaldean or not. All are welcome here, and the doors will be open to all. So this is a beautiful community from whom I've learned much and am grateful to call many friends. With this grand opening, you're helping write the next chapter. A shared belief that our state should be a welcoming, supportive place where every person has a path to opportunity. I want to thank you all for your resilience and your beauty and your intent and action to make this a better place. Today's grand opening is a testament to what is possible when we unite around a shared vision and see it through. So thank you for your leadership, thank you for your friendship, and congratulations on this incredible milestone.
It was an awesome day out at the Chaldean Community Center, a 42,000 square foot facility. It's going to have so many different amenities, and a space for the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce. The Chaldean Cultural Center is going to have an expanded facility, which will clear some room over at Shenandoah Country Club, where it's called home for a number of years. There's also going to be a theater, a TV station there, also a podcasting studio. It's going to be an extensive facility, and it's not just for the Chaldean community in West Bloomfield Township. It's open to the public across the Greater West Bloomfield area. While that was only an invite-only event for the ribbon cutting, more is set to come, including a grand opening. We'll let you know about that. Our team was told by a member of the Chaldean Chamber of Commerce that more news on the grand opening can be expected very soon. In the meantime, stay tuned with us right here on CivicCenterTV.com. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, plenty more information that could benefit our local small business community. Plus, one of the biggest celebrations of the year is on its way very soon. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
So much is happening in your community. Join Jake, Tyler, and Kevin for local events and developments on the Splash Live, weekdays at 10 a.m. on CivicCenterTV.com, YouTube, and Facebook.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, welcome back to The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keefe. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always, for following along all across our social media. You can find us on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15 and pretty much everywhere else, simply just Civic Center TV. That's X, that's Instagram, and of course on our YouTube channel where you can see all of our content from today's episode and every episode of The Splash all throughout your work week. It's one of the biggest dedications of the year for those who have served our nation. Close to home, preparations are well underway for the Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff spoke to Margarita Garcia, who's leading the charge among the final preparations as we are just a week away from Sylvan Lake's Memorial Day festivities. Here's their conversation.
Really excited to be hearing what's in store for the Memorial Day Parade this year. I know everyone in the community looks forward to it. What are the key elements that go into planning this parade every year?
Well, most of all, it's communication. I mean, it begins with, calling the volunteers, communicating with the city, coordination, preparation, and of course, at the end, it's the execution itself of the parade.
That's absolutely right. Lots of communication is key, and we see that unfold every single year with this parade. And how long has this parade been going on? How many years?
I've asked that question a couple of times, Jake, and the answer is we think about 75 years, but nobody knows for sure.
Wow.
So a long time.
Certainly has been a long time, which just goes to show how much that this parade has stood the test of time and has become such a mainstay for this community. Margarita, what can attendees and participants expect to be different or possibly new in this year's parade?
Well, our parade is about traditions. So every year we have a lot of the same participants regarding like the city float, our garden club, parks and recreation, the kids on bikes, historical characters, and of course all of our drivers in vintage cars or pulling boats. That is a mainstay every year. This year, however, we do have 2 new participants. Sylvan Table, the beautiful restaurant right in our neighborhood, is joining us, and we can't wait to see what they do. Their first time. And also we have the Oakland County Sheriff's Department Mounted Police. We're looking at 2 riders, so 2 officers. We're really excited about that. They'll be walking with or riding, trotting right behind our police car, patrol car, which should be really cool for the kids to see.
Absolutely. Those sound like great additions to the parade lineup for this Memorial Day weekend. And working with all of these local officials and volunteers and participants, how do you coordinate things with all those people to ensure that everything runs smoothly on parade day?
Well, this parade, thank goodness, has a history. So we have, our notes from the past. The first thing that happens at the, late March is that I meet with the city along with Kathy Robbins, who is the coordinator for the veterans, and Denise Dryden, John Martin at the city. And we sit down and just, start the planning. Also, Police Chief Corey is in the meeting because his department is involved in, the street closings and so forth and monitoring that everybody stays safe. So that starts it. And then I start making good old phone calls, texts, emails to the past participants, and then hopefully get on the phone and try to or visit or whatever local businesses and so forth. This year, Chief Corey helped to get the mounted police for us. So I thought that was pretty cool of him.
Absolutely. All great things to be looking forward to with this year's parade. And you just touched on this a little bit, Margarita, but how you talk about a lot of participants that have been involved for many, many years, but you've also talked about how we're having a couple new participants this year. How can new participants get involved with the parade for future years?
I forgot one other addition before I answer your question, Jake.
Of course.
Ben Mearswell, who is a local young man that grew up in Sylvan Lake, born and raised and bred. He has his own business, and he is bringing his tractor this year as well. So just wanted to say thank you to Ben for that. So we're excited. And how can people get involved? They can just reach out. We're a small community. We have a Facebook page, Sylvan What's Going On. My email is sylvanlakeparade@gmail. Pretty easy. A lot of people know my phone number, or if they don't, you can call City Hall and get it, or send City Hall an email and just, send them a request, and then they'll forward that to me. Or if you see me outside and say, hey, Margarita, I'm thinking about next year, great. I mean, it's such a small community. You can pretty much open the window and shout out, to your neighbor. So it's pretty easy to get a hold of me here.
You're right. It is a small community, but I think it's because of that's what makes parades like this so special for everybody. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we're talking with the Sylvan Lake Memorial Day Parade chairperson, Margarita Garcia, who's giving us a little sneak peek of what we can expect with the Memorial Day Parade this year coming up in just a couple short weeks. Now, of course, talking about all of these great programs and these great participants involved with the parade, let's not forget the holiday's origins. This is Memorial Day. So how do you honor veterans and active service members during the parade? And how do you ensure that the true meaning and spirit of Memorial Day is honored throughout the event?
Well, the Memorial Day Parade is named Memorial Day Parade because that's it. We're honoring our fallen heroes, our veterans, and there's a really active veteran community here in Sylvan Lake, as well as Memorial Park, which is dedicated to our veterans. So we see it every day, and we honor them and remember them every day. They're such a part of our community. So given that, the way in the parade itself, we have the American Legion Post 341 that joins us each year. And these guys, some of them are from World War II and the Korean War and so forth. So they proudly join us and are acknowledged at the memorial service, which is really a beautiful thing to see. The parade ends at Memorial Park, and that's a time that we begin our ceremonies for the veterans and the fallen heroes. It's a really beautiful thing to see. It's very respectful, very solemn, and it's really a lovely production by Kathy Robbins and John Martin, who is our musical director as well as our city manager. And he performs beautifully. I'm not sure what he's doing this year, but it's always amazing, and it always brings a little tear to the eye.
I'd imagine so. I remember the festivities from last year. They were incredibly moving. Can't wait to see what he has in store for this year. And of course, as we've talked about, parades like this, a big reason that this has become so successful is, as you said, because of the community's support.
Yes.
So what role specifically does the community play in supporting the parade, either through volunteering, sponsoring, or participating?
All of the above. We have volunteers that raise their hand every year. They help with parking lot coordination. They help with the kids getting their bicycles decorated, face painting, the leader of the parade to keep everybody on track. All of these are veteran volunteers, I want to say, that help us every year. And also the community really shows up. It's the beauty about this parade is that it's through our streets, our residential streets. So you can step out your door and, go up to your lawn, and a lot of people like put their lawn chairs out. The kids are outside and watch the parade go by, or take a short walk up to Garland Street and watch the parade at its end, and then join in for the memorial ceremony. We had quite a turnout last year. It was really attended by a lot, and it's the kickoff for the summer here. And aside being a day for the veterans, it's the summer kickoff, and you see your neighbors you haven't seen all winter. Everybody's happy and smiling and greeting each other. It's really very cool community.
That's absolutely right. Spreading that positivity and spreading smiles everywhere you go. Margarita, I know you got a lot of busy work to do to make sure that everything runs smoothly for this year's parade, but I got one more question for you before I let you go, and I think this one might be the biggest of all. What are you most looking forward to with this year's parade?
Well, I have to tell you, my favorite part of the parade itself is watching it come together. We start lining up the participants and the floats and the music and the bagpiper in front of City Hall and Greater Harvest Church. About a half hour before the parade starts. I have to tell you, standing back and watching it all come together it's a festival atmosphere. Kevin and Maria Mearswell handle the parking lot situation, and they line up all of the cars and so forth according to their place in the parade, which is a great part of the parade. So everybody's pulling in, and the kids are getting their faces painted, and they're decorating their bicycles. The big fire truck, West Bloomfield fire truck, shows up. The patrol car. This year we'll have the horses there, the mounted police, and it's just a festival in itself. It's the favorite part for me of the parade. Not to mention the memorial ceremony, but it always makes me so happy. It's just it really, you guys should film it. It's really fun.
Well, we will certainly be there to capture all of the magic. I can't wait to see it all up close. I know you can't wait either. Margarita, thank you so much for joining us today here in the Splash Live to tell us all about the parade.
It was my pleasure, Jake, and we'll see you at the parade.
That we will. Plenty of Memorial Day coverage from across the Greater West Bloomfield community will be on its way 1 week from today. No splash that morning. It's a busy morning across Greater West Bloomfield, and hopefully will be a beautiful day for you to get out and enjoy parades and ceremonies and celebrate our veterans in our community, even though it is a somber day where we are tasked with remembering those that gave their lives in support of our great nation here in the U.S. of A. We will honor those veterans the best way we know how in Greater West Bloomfield by coming together as a community across all of the Greater West Bloomfield area. So stay tuned, CivicCenterTV.com for more Memorial Day coverage. And for those in Sylvan Lake, if you want to continue the celebration, they have a great veterans group that's celebrating an anniversary on Memorial Day weekend. They get together once a month, usually at a coffee shop or at the community center, and it's a great way for our veteran community here in Greater West Bloomfield and in surrounding areas to come together, enjoy some stories, make some new friendships, and connect close to home. Also close to home, small businesses may be in for a much-needed payday aimed to boost their present and their future. Goldman Sachs' 10,000 Small Businesses program is back, and it's aimed to add to its over 16,000 small businesses supported across our great nation in its over a decade plus running this program. Here to tell us more about these dollars and how they could boost our local economy is Destiny Williams, the outreach coordinator with Goldman Sachs' 10,000 Small Businesses program. Destiny, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you on because this is a unique program that provides funding and some guidance and so much more to our local small business community, in particular in Greater West Bloomfield. What components of this program do you think resonate most with our local business community?
Yeah, so I just want to clarify first, we do not provide any capital to our program. However, what our program is most often compared to is an accelerated MBA program that is fully funded by Goldman Sachs and operated outside of Wayne State University, so right there on campus. what our component most resonates with small businesses is that we teach small business owners how to become the CEO in their business. A lot of small business owners, they work in their business. I always say if they're a restaurant, they're in the kitchen, they're at the register. We teach them how to pull away and how to work on their business, not in their business. And that really helps accelerate growth and allow for strategic planning so our small business owners can really thrive.
Yeah, so Goldman Sachs isn't directly providing the funding that that will support these businesses into the future, but it's giving them tools to make it easier to gain that funding through sales, through partnerships, through investment.
Absolutely, and we also have a lot of our small business owners are familiar with banks and go to banks and go to our partners for loans. One really special thing about our classroom is the bankers and our capital partners come inside the classroom, and our small business owners can say, hey, this is my idea. This is what I wanted to pitch. This is where I want to grow my business. And instead of going to the bank and getting that dry yes, that dry no, you actually get feedback, and they will say, hey, I'm saying no because this is how your numbers look. This is what I see. This is a yes because this is a really strong area. So you don't get direct capital, but you get that really intimate feedback that you normally wouldn't get from a traditional bank inside of our classroom.
And so as small businesses in Greater West Bloomfield are preparing to apply for the 10,000 Small Businesses program and looking to tap into these resources to benefit their small business, what do you see as being some of those common barriers or issues that they do run into when they're making these pitches to their bank or trying to gain new investors?
A lot of people are number phobic. Oh my goodness. We run into a lot of number phobes where a big thing we see, they only do look at their numbers during tax time. And we want to get small business owners out of that habit. We want you to meet with your accountant, your bookkeeper, your CPA once a month at least. We want you to get a CPA if you do not have one already. We want you to be able to look consistently and say, this is where I'm making profit. This is a really strong area. This is the goods that are selling really well, and this is what is not. We want you to be able to be strategic, and we love people who make decisions from their gut and their heart, but we want you to make decisions based on your numbers also.
More information can be found on 10ksbapply.com. That's 10, the number K, SBapply.com. All the information you need to know about the 10,000 Small Businesses program through Goldman Sachs. Destiny Williams is with us for even more insight on this as well. And Destiny, as businesses will participate in this, they'll kind of get that CEO crash course, as you said. I want to take a step back because these are really great resources, but people got to know how they can get into them. So what steps do people have to take in order to apply?
So our criteria is for small business owners who are established and who are looking to take their hands off the steering wheel. Our criteria is you have to have a minimum of $75,000 in annual gross revenue, at least 2 full years in business, and 2 full-time employees, including the owner or mom, pop, significant other. They may not necessarily be on your payroll, but as long as they're full-time in the business, that counts for us. So that is our basic criteria. And if you meet that criteria, you are invited to interview. And once we conduct our interviews, you will be notified whether you have been accepted or not into the program.
And so there's a couple different cohorts that are going on. There's one that's going to be ending fairly soon as we talk about this in late May, but there's other opportunities later on in the year. What are some of those deadlines people should be looking out for if they're looking to tap into some of these resources soon?
Oh, great question. Thank you so much. So we're currently accepting applications for our September program, which starts September 4th. We are accepting applications until May 30th. Our program, again, it is very similar to an accelerated MBA program. So we run in conjunction to the semesters at Wayne State. So every September, January, and May for 14 weeks, our program will be running. So you can go ahead and apply right now until May 30th for our September cohort. If you are interested in finding more information about our cohorts, feel free to go online to Detroit10ksb.com or reach out to me and I'll happily go into the nitty-gritty details.
Now, small businesses, they want to take that next step. Some of them feel like they've done all that they can to push their business to the point that they're at, but they know they got that extra step of potential. And so, Destiny, as they explore programs like this, and in particular yours with Goldman Sachs' 10,000 Small Businesses program, based on the feedback you've gotten from small businesses that have been through this, what have been arguably the most beneficial elements of this program that have helped them take those next steps?
So our program is absolutely a crash course, and you taking your hands off the steering wheel. We mean what we say, we preach what we live what we preach. So our program is for September every Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Our participants will be in our class with only one excused absence, 100% working on their business throughout that time. Goldman Sachs also funds for our participants to meet with a business advisor for a minimum of 1 hour each week. One of the beneficial things I've always seen is small business owners hear, oh my gosh, I have to be in class every Friday from 8 to 5. That's intense. But most small business owners do not return back to their restaurant, their consulting agency after you do our program. That Friday is done. Their staff knows how to operate. They have delegated. They do not return to the office on those days. They have separated for classes. And also the business advisors have been doing this for 20 plus years. They're amazing. Goldman Sachs funds for you to meet with them and really pick their brain. One thing I've always seen is those business advisors. That's a valuable resource. The requirement is at least an hour, but admittedly, most of our small business owners, they do an hour, 2 hours, 3, take advantage, especially because this is a fully funded opportunity and these are experts. So pick their brains. Absolutely. Our growth rate also, I just want to mention, 66% of our participants have said they've increased revenues just 6 months after graduating from our program, and 44% have said they've hired more employees. And again, this is just 6 months, so it's a very real thing.
And it's all a different change of perspective, new skills that ultimately will help you build your business into being something that's even stronger and allow it to continue to thrive in our local economy here in Greater West Bloomfield. Destiny, before we let you go, anything else that people should know at this time as they get ready or consider applying for the 10,000 Small Businesses program?
Please, please, please apply. It is not like anything. If you are established, you are just need that support, even if you have that accountant, but being a small business owner is a lonely island. And our program provides a cohort of small business owners who are like-minded, who are ready to learn from each other and will offer that peer-to-peer support, and is unlike any other. I assure you, once you do our program, it will change 100% how you view your business.
Resources, contacts, leadership, new skills. It's like building your career, but this time you're doing that with your business. You're building your business's career so that you can be the CEO and guide the ship going forward. Destiny, so thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. More info is available, 10ksbapply.com. That is 10, the number K, sbapply.com for more information. Again, those applications open through May 30th for the September cohort. There is another one later on in the year. You'll learn all about that on their website one final time, 10ksbapply.com. Close to home here in the Greater West Bloomfield area, one of the biggest events of the entire calendar year brings the art community to Greater West Bloomfield for a premiere event each and every July just off the boulevard. The Orchard Lake Fine Art Show is set to return to Powers and Daly Roads off of Orchard Lake on July 26th and 27th. I had a chance to speak to the executive producer and the founder of the art show, Patty Narosny, as well as one of their featured artists for this year's show for a special preview.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to both of you as well. Patty, I want to start with you. This is a big event for you every year. It's a huge event for us here in Greater West Bloomfield, the 21st annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. I'd imagine this time of the year, as we're getting a little bit closer to the big days, that it starts to get really exciting as you wrap up some of your art shows down in Florida and get ready to come here to our community. Where are you at in the process right now?
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Civic Center TV, and thank you for West Bloomfield for continuously hosting our 22nd Orchard Lake Fine Art Show in the heart of West Bloomfield. Yes, this is voted top 100 art shows in America. We have one of the top artists in North America joining us, and she's also our featured artist. And it's an example of how Agnes did our Florida shows, and now she's coming to Michigan to participate in our Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, July 26 and 27. And it's an example of how we bring artists to this event that you don't see at other Michigan events.
And it is a really exciting time for art lovers in our community and the others that come in as this being a huge attraction for art lovers across Lower Michigan. Agnes, for you coming in after an award-winning performance in Florida at one of the most recent shows, how excited are you to show off your now award-winning art in even more places across the U.S.?
Yes, it's for me. I'm traveling 30 years with my paintings, and that's my professional job. And to be featured in a Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, it's an honor among all those amazing artists to choose my work about my son. He's a golfer, and it's just mesmerizing, the experience with Patty. It really is.
And Patty, that goes back to you and your team's work before these art shows to bring in the best of the best from across the U.S. and beyond. You have mentioned in years past, and you emphasize this every year, that this is a juried art show. You do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that you're not just bringing in people that have award-winning backgrounds, but have award-winning original art altogether. So what's your process for looking for artists to bring here to our community for the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show?
Well, the process is all work must be original and personally handmade by the artist in the show. And it's juried based on originality, technique, execution, and booth appearance. So during this entire winter, when we're still planning the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, we also produced 9 shows in Florida, including Naples, Boca Raton, Sarasota, St. Petersburg, and I thought there was one more. And anyway, I can't remember the other one. There's Michael's work. He's an award winner. We want to give credit to Agnes, who won our Best of Show in Naples a couple weeks ago. But that's an example of, with us, Florida's the season of all art shows. So not only do we have our own events here, I also attend other events and recruit artists from other events to come to the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show throughout the entire winter season. So we have a beautiful show planned for this year with about 140 high-quality juried artists. There's excellent food. We have wonderful music with Detour Band, Motor City Sensations. And then we don't want to forget our kids' art competition, which is a unique and one-of-a-kind program. It's for grades K through 8. And it's a way we expose students to the rules and entrepreneurship opportunity of doing art shows for a living. So all students in ages K 5 to 13 are encouraged to enter their original and personally handmade art that's publicly displayed within the show the entire weekend. And it's a way we expose students to the rules and entrepreneurship opportunity of doing art shows for a living.
Patty Narazny is with us, as well as artist Agnes Ratanye from the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, returning to the Greater West Bloomfield community this summer. It'll be July 26th and 27th. That's Saturday and Sunday. It is 10 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday. Again, July 26th and 27th. Hotworks.org is the place to go for even more information. Agnes, I want to go back to you because you've, as Patty has said, you've attended some of her other recent art shows in Florida. You've won awards at those art shows. You're a professional artist. You really took some pride in that. The big smile on your face I saw when you talked about this being something that you love to do every day and you can make a living on. And so when you go to an art show like the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show or the other Hotworks shows that you've been to recently, take us through that experience for you as an artist. How does that motivate you, and how exciting is it to not only sell your art, but to have that one-to-one interaction as you're in the process of selling that art?
Yes, my art is not about sales. It's about talking to the clients, talking to the art lovers. They're coming close to me in my soul. They feel the same thing what I feel. I am not noisy with my artwork. They are very, very soft moments in our lives. So whoever could attach to that that's for me is the ultimate experience on the festivals. But to be with Patty gave us a home. It's a home. It's not an exhibition. We bring our life into those festivals with her. She really does make us feel so welcomed and so amazing. I really, really enjoy the shows with Patty Narozny. It's really...
Oh, thank you.
And Patty in the background giving her thanks to Agnes as she prepares to come here close to home, here in Greater West Bloomfield, July 26th and 27th. Same location as it's been for the last several years and beyond. Powers and daily roads. On the roads themselves, the West Bloomfield Police closed down a couple of those roads for those 2 days over the summer for one of the biggest events here in our community. Agnes, you've been to some of the shows down in Florida. Will this be your first time at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, or have you joined us in past years?
No, I was there twice already, and I had a sold-out show with Patty. It was just, imagine that, to get ready and go and travel with my paintings, and I arrived to that beautiful little community who really enjoy art, real art, juried art, and yes, I had a sold-out shows with Patty before in Orchard Lake. Also the Florida shows, they were extremely well organized and very well attended. It's not a walk-by shows, they are more just art lovers who really enjoy seeing us and select our work.
You can find even more information about Agnes's art and see some of it yourself before you see her at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Info on all of the attending artists can be found on hotworks.org, including all those details you need about the 22nd annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show coming back in late July right here in West Bloomfield Township. Patty, I want to go back to you because Agnes made a really good point. Not only is she able to make a living as an artist, going to these shows in Florida, coming to our shows here in Michigan at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show this July, and for the past 3 years before that, that goes back to what you were talking about with the youth art competition, kind of coalescing the professional artist side with now the amateur artist side and showing them that career path. Why is that an important effort for you and your team at HotWorks?
Well, we started this program back in 2005.
Wow.
And it's a way to bring families to the event and to expose students to the opportunity of doing something they love for a living. You heard what Agnes said. She's not there to sell, but she really is. Everybody has bills to pay. But to truly do something that you love to do for a living is very important. And we want to reach out to the community and to the students that there is an opportunity to do something that you love for a living, which is creating your art. And after COVID, we found out especially how important the art shows are, because it's the visual eye that is extremely important compared to like the computer screen. That piece behind Agnes, the golfer, is our featured piece. And when everyone who's looking at this video interview comes to the show, you'll understand what we're talking about, that it's more amazing in person with the visual eye. You can't see the texture very well behind her on the screen, but it's a gorgeous, amazing piece, and the visual eye brings it out. But for those students out there, and also we want to thank Lindsay at Steinway Art. She's been extremely instrumental in helping with the kids' programs, and we want to get the West Bloomfield art teachers involved with their students K through 8 as a way to expose them to the rules and entrepreneurship of doing art shows for a living. So their work is displayed at the show in a 20 by 40 tent the entire weekend. And the kids love seeing that their work is displayed. And then sometimes there's a bonus where patrons want to purchase their art and the kids end up selling it. We always encourage them to sell their art because they can create more, and that's what they're making it for, is to sell it and have other people appreciate it.
And it gives them a great opportunity not only to compete with their own art and see sort of the entrepreneurial side, but to also have those conversations with professional artists. And Patty, when you bring up that you first did this, as you said, in 2005, that means now we're 20 years later of these kids in those late elementary and middle school ages exploring their journeys as an artist. Do you have it? And I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here with this. I understand that. But did you have any success stories of all these years later, from 20 years of these kids doing great things at your show, then coming back later on or contacting you later on and saying, the youth art competition started my professional career as an artist?
Well, we have a few of those students, but most importantly, our biggest success story has been Dallin Nallin from Fort Myers, Florida. The kid is 17 years old. Agnes knows him. She met him in Naples. He's been to Orchard Lake in 2023. The family came to Orchard Lake. He has been displaying his work with us since age 8. So he started entering the program at age 5. At age 8, he has been donated over 100 booths at our shows where he can sell his work. So yes, it's extremely important for the kids to learn the interaction with the patrons at the show. They learn how to communicate. They learn how to socialize. Eye contact is important. But Dallin Nallin is now selling his pieces probably for more than $3,500 at age 17. He had a great show with us in Naples. His little sister, Nella, she has a company, Doodles by Nella, and she's 11. She did 2 shows with us this season, and she's selling just little paintings, or 5 inches by 7 inches, and bookmarks, $2 each. And those 2 kids are great success stories. Nella's 11 years old. She's got a company, Doodles by Nella, and she has a checking account. She knows how to take credit cards, and she knows how to interact with the patrons and sell her work. So this is big success story with those kids who have taken advantage of our offer to donate a booth to sell the work. We ask for the kids, if we're going to do that, either get a body. If a school wants to do it and get some kids together, we just need, since it's underage, we either need the patrons or their art teachers to supervise the kids' booth. And it's a great learning experience. Both these kids have businesses, and they're both doing great. And I encourage more kids to take advantage of the opportunity. Nallin's going to start having to pay for his own booth because he's going to be 19 soon, and that's when the program stops.
And that's what you want to hear. You want to see stories like that. And for parents, and especially for the kids here in Greater West Bloomfield that will have the opportunity to enter that youth art competition, a story like that tells them that they can take this to the next level. So that's a really inspiring tale from 20 years of the youth art competition as we get ready for the 22nd annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, July 26th and 27th on Powers and Daly Road. Agnes Rattani is with us as well, one of the artists that will be featured at this year's Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. And Agnes, when you see so much variety, so much talent from all over our country coming together for shows like this, and then you see the community behind it and all these different places come out to these art shows. For artists like you, how does that then maybe reshape or reframe how you approach your process going forward? And maybe does that bring a certain sense of inspiration for you to continue forward with your works?
Yes, Buddy has a selection of incredible good artists. And when you are entering to that atmosphere, we are all inspired to do better, show after show. We grow from other artists' energy. We are a community of very creative people. And it's just something there are no words to explain the feeling when we are on the show. We're working at home in the studios, and it's fantastic and it's beautiful. But to be with the other artists and like in Naples show with Patty, everybody was so happy, just really like a big happy family. And inspiring. I came home and I cannot wait to go back to the studio and get ready for July. And the texture, the technique what I use is 30 years old. I'm using this technique for all my life.
Appreciate both of them joining us to preview the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show. More information can be found on hotworks.org. That's our show. I want to remind you that television that's close to home is always online on civiccentertv.com and across our social media. Big thank you to our entire crew and to you for joining in. For our entire team, I'm Tyler Kieft. This is a time of many rites of passage. Some of them we may not even notice. So enjoy all the special moments while you can. Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.